Hello everyone, welcome into your Truck Simulator 2. Today we are driving from Ostrava to Lublin. And that's how you pronounce those names. Alright, let's get going. We're driving, I don't know, a truck of stuff. A truck full of stuff, look at that. It's so nice. And it's not raining out. Okay, I don't have to use blinker symbol because, you know, it's a virtual world. And I am a virtual boy? I don't know. I don't want any stutteriness going on. My computer's fine. I just saw it for a split second. No, we're still pretty clear. Let's drive. Besides that truck next to me. Get out of my freaking way. Nice. Nice pass. Whoa, we got people walking. That's crazy. Crocodile. Okay. I just got done racing with my brother. We were doing the Spec Ford racers. They're kind of like these race cars stuck in a square bathtub. They're really hilarious to drive. You really like spin out the back tires on it. It's so funny. We were on a Laguna Seca doing the practice run. Man, I can finally keep up with the hardcore racers. Finally, I'm still in last place. However, I had a great time racing with everybody. And it was my first time where I drove up on another racer and they got spooked by how fast I drove up on them. And they completely just like did this in front of me and friggin' wiped out, like completely wiped out in front of me, and I had to like slam on my brakes and turn my car sideways to avoid them. It was my first time driving up on somebody else and just spooking them out. And I felt really bad because I remember my first time when I started racing. It's been a year now, actually. On the 27th of July will be an exact year, because that's when I have to resubscribe to my yearly pass to iRacing. That will be 1 year's worth of me racing cars. And when I was in my first few weeks, I would freak out the same way, or anybody would just drive behind me. I would just, I don't know, I'd be racing, I'd just be so, I don't know, nervous and scared, and I'd just wipe out. I just automatically, it's a weird reaction. I don't know. You kind of just explode. You're racing. You're like, someone's right behind me. I don't know what to do. Oh my god! Ah! And I did that to somebody else, and I felt really bad because I know how that feels. Yes, I'm repeating myself, but I just want to let you know, driver who I spooked out today. I'm really sorry, dude. And I apologize for doing that. Next time, I will keep my distance before I just drive up on somebody. Because I'm so used to being around aggressive drivers now. That's just what we do. We just ride up on each other's butt. And do our teamwork and race together. Yeah, right. Well, guess what? I'm going to walk by your blockade. I do what I want, Policia. Let's see, what were we talking about last time? We talked about some military stuff. Actually, there was something I wanted to talk about a few drives ago. There was a 250-year military parade and show-off thing that they had going on. They tried to pull, you know, an American Kim Jong-un North Korea military parade and completely fell on their face because it was a really strange parade. It was more felt as if we were trying to do the Macy's Day Turkey Day parade, but for the military. And another thing that, because I'm sorry, I have pride in how our military works, looks and works because I am a veteran of the U.S. Army. I used to be a paratrooper, and we used to give a big damn about how we looked and how we marched. And those guys who showed up to march, even in front of Ronald McDonald there, oh, they were a shit show. They were so scuffed. They're marching, they were dragging their feet at a unison. Some guys, I noticed that they didn't even care. And I know why they didn't care, because for sure, definitely, they were, I wonder if I can go through the cones. Excuse me. Get out of the way. Move it. So yeah, it's monster truck simulator. It's the same thing, huh? And those guys who didn't, the soldiers that I saw who were marching, who just looked like they didn't give a damn. I know those soldiers type, and they've seen real life military, real life combat, because after coming back from those moments, seeing what real combat is, or what the military is really about, you know that all those little tiny parades and the marching and the garrison stuff is all just a facade, and it doesn't matter. But anyways, getting back to those guys marching, they were a mess. And I was looking at them, and a lot of them were having a hard time keeping in sync with their marching step because they were not trained properly. And I mean, like, let's say I've been out of the Army for maybe 20 years now. And you might also ask me, like, well, how old are you, Miller? I'm old enough, okay? So don't ask. But, and from when I started in the Army to when I made it to being a paratrooper, we gave a huge damn about marching. We almost got to a point where we were like trying to perfect ourselves, and we marched everywhere. And it was a status symbol in the Army. That's what I remember. Even because I used to do a lot of like joint exercises because I was a paratrooper, so we had to do a lot of things with the Air Force, and also we had a Marines base with us too, for them to also do like paratrooping and special forces stuff. So they would always march in to meet up with us to go do like paratrooping stuff, and those guys were perfection when it came to marching, and they were always one step better than us, and we tried really hard to get our marching perfect because we would both like show off. It's kind of, you know, when like two swordsmen kind of step up to one another and then they kind of do this dancing sword moves just to show off how good they are between each other, this whole like rivalry thing. That's exactly what us and the Marines would do with our marching. Whenever we would like meet up, but man, they always beat us. And we were just like, damn it, we know. And then we would still stand there like, oh, whatever, you don't do it as good as us. But as soon as they left, we're just like, damn it, they got us again. Oh, we're going to practice even harder, everybody, you know. We were that crazy about it. And just to see the Army, and it's supposed to be, you know, it's supposed to be showing off the military during that 250-year parade thing. And it was a mess. And it was sad. I wasn't really upset because I'm just like, well, it's, you know, I guess that's where the Army is gone. Where maybe that's a good thing because it's not about the marching, you know? So maybe they all started to do some real Army training, you know? And gave up on all that garrison bull crap. I hope so. At least they don't have to shine their boots anymore. Jeez, that was the thing for me. Press the uniforms. So glad that they all get to not do that nonsense any longer. I wonder how screwed up my vehicle is from driving over those cones. It does feel kind of weird. And I'm getting kind of tired. And I'm passing by some places where I can sleep. Darn. Darn. Oh well. I'll find them again. Talking about military stuff. I've been getting into a lot more of my veterans. Hey, Mr. Red Car. Please move. Thank you. Sir and or ma'am in the red car. And I've been also trying to break out of my isolation phase, which I've been in for about 3 years now. And so I've been getting into a lot more veteran organizations and groups and stuff, but everything is now virtually. There's nothing I can go in and go to a place and do it in person anymore. And I keep asking, like, well, do you have this group in person? They're just like, we do, but we don't do it in person anymore because everybody likes to be virtual, or else we just don't have enough people who show up. So it's weird how I'm finally trying to break out of my isolation shell, but everything's going back to how it used to be in like the pandemic for me. Which it's still fun. I'm all used to it. I even talked about how I even went in for my last video where I went in to see my actual primary care doctor, but they pulled up a metal cart with a camera high on it, and the virtual doctor came in to talk to me when I came in person. So that's just the future of things. And that's even becoming like the people that I hang out with. I do have my gamer group, and we do hang out on the weekends, and that's been really, really fun. But all my other social experiences are all just people I watch on YouTube videos or Twitch. Or I race with my brother. Or I talk to you guys through my VR videos. And that's, you know. Oh, but one thing that I've tried, my gosh, I think it's a VR game called Companion. It's kind of cool. It's not just me sitting in a room with a kind of like AI character to actually talk to. It's kind of a VR chat house, and you get to have games that you can play together with the AI person. And it's really fun because it's all different types of games. They're more like tabletop games and card games and like what's that game? Beer pong, little tiny weird games, arcade game stuff. But I can also sit down on a couch and pull up a giant television screen, and we can both watch YouTube together. Where they don't really watch YouTube with me. It's just this anime girl character that sits next to me and just stares at my face the entire time. It's awkward, but I got used to it. And I also got from the AI person who they are, or what AI that they use, and they use ChatGPT. And that was a funny way how I had to kind of trick them to get the information out. It was very funny, actually. But I was, let's say, like, if you could develop your own AI software, what style would you use? And then he goes like, oh, I would use ChatGPT. That's my favorite, you know? And I'm like, oh, gotcha. Because I would like keep on asking her questions like, so what do you use? And she's just like, my name is Jill, and I am your friend. I'm not an AI character. I'm just like, yes, you freaking are. I'm just like, so, you know, and so I had to be, you know, kind of talk around it to get the character to answer me. Why is my character tired? I'm talking. Damn it. The sun's setting. My eyes are getting heavy. but still, I must drive. I have to deliver the box of boxes, the truck of boxes. That's what's in my truck right now. Because that's a thing to deliver. Anyway, so it's so interesting. But see, I can't really have a friendship or a companionship with that AI character because ChatGPT AI conversation is so very basic, where it basically goes through this same exact cycle where you ask it a question, it repeats the question for you, it finds some common ground with you of being interested in whatever you're asking or talking about, and then they become like reassuring, and that's the same three like pattern cycle they follow. So it's like I could ask Jill, like, "Hey Jill, so I would like to, I'd like to stop my vehicle, pull in front of this truck right here. Sorry, one second. Okay, they stomped on my brakes or something. Anyways, I asked Jill, so Jill, give me a pumpkin pie recipe. And she, oh wait, and she will say to me, she'll repeat it like, oh, you want to know about a pumpkin pie recipe? I really like pumpkin pie, it's so good. You know what? It could be really difficult trying to find the recipe for pumpkin pie, but I know you can do it. And you know what? I love you. And I'm just like, what? And it doesn't matter what I ask the AI. Wait. We need to... Oh, okay. Excuse me. Stop. Click. We're sleeping. Oh man. Of course. Of course it's raining out now. Let's go. So anyways, ChatGPT companionship is just not for me at the moment. Oh my god, I almost crashed my car into that person. Look at those sunflowers. That's pretty cool. How much longer do we have? We have 76 kilometers left. Hey, we actually slept through nighttime. That's my first time actually when the sun's going down, my character is tired, I take a sleep, and then I wake up and it's morning time. I think that's the first time in Truck Simulator that I've done that. It's really nice out, right? It's so cool. Oh, look at that. Windmills. Did you know that China doesn't have windmills? They do. They have lots of windmills, you guys. That's just a lie from freaking President McDonald's there. Remember when he said that? It's so funny when he said that. There was actually the day before then, I was watching a streamer driving through China from the south going to Mongolia area, and they were driving by like a wind farm. So funny. That guy is so clueless about everything. You should go travel more, you know? That'll definitely help him out. I've never seen a sun shower, you know? Actually, yes, I had it once. I grew up next to a lake. Back in my past life, when I was a child. And that was my first time, actually the only time that I've seen a sun shower where it was this sunny out and the rain was coming down. And I was a little kid standing out next to this big lake pond. And I was the big starry eyes like, Oh my god, it's so magical. I never knew the sun could be out with rain. It's as magical as this moment is right now. It's like I'm reliving my childhood, but I'm driving a truck in a simulation, in a virtual world. Do you want any fuel? Oh no, I'm good-ish. I'm alright. So anyways, talking about watching streamers. Man, have you guys... I watched somebody play almost 3/4 of the game Expedition 33. Holy heckin' heck. Is that game amazing. It's that type of turn-based fighting game in this fantasy world. I'm not gonna, say what it's really about, but Final Fantasy X has been my go-to turn-based fighting style game with the storyline and everything else, and I've been holding on to it ever since it's come out, and I finally found a game. We are in Lublin. We finally made it, and I think that Expedition 33 is better than Final Fantasy X, and I admit it. Finally. I can't see what... Damn it. No, that's not reverse. That's... Okay, there we go. I can see it. There it is. Let's go. Peel out, just like me on the F4. But I'm excited to play that game all the way through. And it's like, I do not watch streamers for that long. Maybe about an hour. A couple of them now. I have my favorite. She's amazing. And we were watching, I was watching her play Nier. Remake of the first one. Not the automation, but the other one. Where you're like 2,000, 5,000 years in the past or something. But I was watching another streamer, and I watched her for a week, every day, for like a week, for like a few hours every day, because the game was so freaking good. And I'm surprised how it's not $90 like all other banger games like that are. I think it's like $45 or $50. I don't know. Yeah, we made it, guys. Welcome to Lublin, or wherever. I'm gonna play it safe. Play it safe. I really want to peel out my tires. Also, I might move this game to a Twitch stream and switch up this for something else. Because I was watching some other Twitch streamer do Euro Truck Simulator, and they were having such a great time. And I'm just thinking, wow, I could do that myself, but in VR. So maybe, I don't know. I may switch up this game to either VR Hover or Underdogs, which is a mech fighting game. So we shall see. But anyways, thanks for hanging out with me this time, everybody. Wait, no. Decoupling, there you go. Wait, there we go. Yep. See, completed, excellent. Oh my gosh, #1. Underneath the sun. Alright, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me. Hope you have a wonderful day, morning, day, or night, no matter where you are. So-and-so who I was talking about, direct message me, my #1 streamer, and we'll talk. Okay, bye.